So, what are the failures you face in life? Okay, from born to death, there are many failures we face. Okay, in internal surroundings as well as external surroundings. But which failures is very more. Okay, either internal or external, or external or internal. Okay, even if you are in a job also, if you worked very hard, but what happened? What happened? You may get success, but what will happen? Some failures may happen, no. So that is already understanding. Okay. So there are different circumstances on the failure. Okay. For example, school student exam failure, college student exam arrear failure. Okay. Then employment you should job which means employment person, employee person, war failure means growth failure. Okay, so there are different stages of failures. Okay, so already I said no circumstance. Okay, so in life failure what it gives means one day it will give success. Okay, even though the best story I want to give is example means the great Abdul Kalam sir. Abdul Kalam sir, what what failure he faced means he only introduced his PSLV rocket. Okay, he only introduced a PSLV rocket. In that before launching the PSLV rocket, Abdul Kalam sir did not execute PSLV rocket in the first attempt. Okay, first attempt failure, second attempt failure, third attempt failure. So after sixth attempt, seventh attempt only, Abdul Kalam sir launched the PSLV rocket successfully. Until then, Abdul Kalam sir faced failures. But he never lost his confidence. He said, Abdul Kalam sir, okay, I will launch this PSLV rocket on any day. I need not to worry about the failures. Okay, leave it. So in that way we have to be done. Okay, even example I in my life, example for me take I also face many failures. Okay, I also face many failures. But what happened when the failure gives some 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 vexiness, feelingness, and some without some other circumstances it will give. Okay, but once we come on, motivate ourselves, the success will comes on any day. Okay, the success will come on any day, any day. But what will happen means once you face this failure, you never lose your confidence. Okay, for example, the story I will tell. Okay, the story I will one story I will tell. Yes, an aeroplane is going on the sky. I don't know which city is going. I think either Mumbai or Delhi. The aeroplane sound is coming. Okay, I don't know exact the status of the aeroplane. So never leave it. Let's come to the session. Okay, one story I will give. I want to tell. Okay, so one person name was Prayesh. Okay, Prayesh. Okay, Prayesh. The person name was Prayesh. Okay, he is a very Prayesh was a very toothy, very cute and smile person. Okay, but what happened means he had some difficulties. Okay, of talking. Okay, he never talks like others. Okay, Prayesh was a slight disabled person. Okay, and due to his communication, he is not able to convey the message like others. Okay, like others. Okay, But even though Prayesh studied and finished his school and completed this degree. But what happened is, okay, in his job career, okay, in his job career, he is not able to communicate. Even though Prayesh working without voice, but he is not able to communicate like others, okay. Prayesh has a major difficulty, okay. So, but even though he worked in previous company, but what happened means due to some other reason, he was he left that company, okay. He left that company. But in the interview, what happened means, okay. In the interview, Prayesh was unable to answer, okay. Prayesh was unable to answer, okay. Unable to answer the interview question. So every interview he faced failures. Okay, if we never answer means what the interview will tell, okay. As you all know, I don't want to say, okay. But what happened means Prayesh has his difficulty in speaking. But even though he feel himself, okay, I am feeling failure. So, what, 1 or 2 months, okay, he searched he want to improve his communication, okay. Then what Prayesh, what it means, okay, I want to improve my communication. So in the interview, he faced failures due to this. Okay, okay. In the next interview, I will select and I will win what I want. So he was setting himself. Okay, he is setting himself. He is setting what difficulty I what difficulty I have. Finally, he find this difficulty, and then the next 1 or 2 weeks, he went for the therapy. Okay, speech therapy and all that. Okay, so in 1 or 2 days, okay, the next 1 or 2 weeks, he went for the speech therapy, okay. And in the speech therapy, what miracle happens to him was, okay, his speech was normal to all, okay. He speaks very clearly and fluently, okay, fluently. Then what happened means, even though he speaks very fluently and clearly, but his voice is slight not understandable. Okay, that is the main difficulty. Okay, okay. Then what happened means, then Prayesh, even though his speed was fluently and clearly, but he understand himself. Okay, okay. My voice is not clear. Okay. Okay, let's go to the another therapy for the voice. Okay, he himself searched. Okay, he himself searched, and finally, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, he went to the voice therapy. Okay, voice therapy session. Okay, so in that also next 2 or 3 months, he his voice also perfect and like normal to all. Okay. So next that but he sincerely practice himself. Okay. Praise sincerely practice himself and cure his problem. Okay. Cure his voice, speech and speech problem. Okay. Speaking problem. Okay. So the next 2 or 3 weeks, one day, one interview was attended, event and attended. Okay, in that interview, what happened means he answered all the questions correctly, and the interviewer was inspired by his voice and the communication. Then what happened means, what happened? What will happen? Success comes to him. Okay, so what? Prayesh previously he faced many failures, But after this, taking steps of involvement in improving his speech and voices, one day in the interview, he got selected and ready for going job. Okay, so the moral of the story is try to find your difficulties first, then improve step and take steps to improve. Then one day success will come to you. This is the moral of the story. Okay, so don't be feel always failure. Okay, in everybody failure is very common. Okay, even myself also face many failures. Okay, but I want to strengthen myself. Okay, if I think I am myself, oh, failure happen means don't nothing will happen. Okay, so kindly overtake and remove the failure in your mind, improve yourself, and success will come to you on any day. Okay, so this is the failure. Okay, so don't be fear of the failure. That's the main thing. Okay, because if you fear means okay, then major steps will be major psychology steps will come to your mind. Okay, for example, even best example I want to tell means okay, in my real life I faced okay. So my mother passed away in 2012. Okay, that time when I was studying in college. Okay, I was studying in college. So after joining the college, after joining the college, I was a fear of the exam. Okay, I got a fear of the exam due to my mother's chocolate. Okay, so due to mother's sadness. Okay, then what happened means my I did not appear. I did not appear in few exams. Okay, I did not appear in few exams. So due to that mother's demise without feeling, I am not appeared for many exam. Okay. So what my friend told me, okay, don't worry. Your mother is always with you. We attend the exam and get the degree. So that way, so with that my friend advice, the next semester, I attend all the exam and I clear the papers, okay? And I clear the papers. So this one, even though I got some backlog papers, but I clear the papers with the support of all that is, I mean, that is that is a real success of the life. Okay, that is a success of the life. So likewise, you have to be strong yourself, confident yourself, and be without the thinking of the failures. Okay. So thank you. Thanks to all. Ariom, be always positive and confident yourself. Happy good evening to all of us. Enjoy it. Happy good evening to all of us.